What do you call yourself?
Good morning. I call myself Peak Freak.
Peak Freak.
That's Peak Freak. I always have to say it twice.
Okay.
Not Peach Tree, not Pea Creek. Yeah.
And
Freak.
how did you get your trail name?
I got my trail name when I hiked the Appalachian Trail Southbound in 2016. So the first day I started the trail, it was I went up to Baxter State Park where Mount Katahdin is with my dad and my sister. My mom was sick at home. But so we drove 16 hours from where I live in Maryland to Maine, and we had made a pretty last-minute reservation at, I forget the name of the campground, but right below Mount Katahdin. And so we only had one night reserved to stay there. The next night was booked. So we wanted to summit together, and that morning when we woke up to summit, the conditions were extremely poor. There was very, very low visibility. I'd say like a stiff 40-mile-an-hour wind, but we had no option. It was either then or never. So we went for it. And my sister, who is 6 years younger than I am, she actually ended up getting hypothermia about 2 miles from the summit. So we really had to quickly assess, that situation and take care of her. Mm-hmm. I did end up summiting, but that night I got back to camp. That's when I actually met my first group of friends. It became my trail family for a while, and based on that day's experience, we concluded as a group that Peak Freak was an acceptable name, not necessarily directly relating to the experience, but it's a good, catchy phrase.
Right on.
Yeah.
And where were you living before you were on the Pacific Crest Trail?
So I was I've been born and raised in right outside Annapolis, Maryland, in Gambrels, and it's a great place to live, great place to grow up.
Right on.
Yeah.
And what are you passionate about, Peak Freak?
I'm passionate about a number of things, but I would say one of I'm certainly passionate about the outdoors in a number of aspects. Long distance hiking specifically, really appeals to me. There's just something romantic about it.
Right.
Maybe not at times, but
yeah.
When I'm at home, it's always it seems like the ultimate adventure. And through my experiences, it really is so much more fulfilling than many other activities.
Right on.
But yeah, I definitely aspire to get to be involved in the outdoor industry through my career in some way, shape, or form. But still searching about how I can apply my talents to it. So yeah,
I think we all are there for sure.
Yeah.
And what do you think about the Pacific Crest Trail?
Gosh, the Pacific Crest Trail is something else. As an East Coaster, never having been to the West Coast, it's on a whole nother scale.
Yeah?
To say the
like
least.
A lot of fun? Like what do you mean? Could you share a story about the PCT, or share something really fun? Like what's
all
fun?
right. Well, so one of the best stories I have so far on this trail is was when I was hiking with my friend Sauce Boy, and we were hitching from White Pass into Packwood. Okay, so that day we had just done our first 30. We actually did 34, and it was really smooth sailing the entire day until the end when water was a little bit more scarce. So we were both feeling a little dehydrated, but we hit a water source, drank up, feeling much better. And when we got to the road, I was starting to feel a little nauseous again. I was definitely low on electrolytes and calories, really keeping my mind on the burger that was waiting for me in town.
Right.
And stuck our thumbs out. There was probably a car passing every 2 minutes, so it wasn't super busy. The sun was falling, but we were confident we'd get into town. And after probably 25 minutes, so on the longer side, a car finally pulled over. They actually were gonna go to the restaurant that was behind us, which was actually closed. But there were 4 people. It was a pickup truck. There were 4 people sitting in the cab, and the back had a cap over it. And it was just a work truck, but they said, yeah, I mean, you guys are welcome to hop in the back if you don't mind. And we said, absolutely not. We were filthy.
Right.
So we hopped in the back, and I was really starting to feel a little queasy again. But I was certainly stoked to be going into town. So we get going, and the speed limit's like 50 miles an hour, and these roads are really windy. And I was starting to not feel so good. So I asked my friend, how much longer till we get in town? Do you have any idea? Like, how long is this hitch?
Right.
And it was about like 20 minutes away, and I just could not make it. So I was looking for like, what do I do?
Right.
And I didn't want her to pull over because I wanted to get there as fast as possible.
Yeah.
And so I noticed that the back of the truck, where the gate lifts down, there's like a small gap between the gate and like the bottom. So I ducked down, and I did my business right out of that little sliver. And when I ducked back up, I noticed there's a car right behind us, dude. So I puked all over this car.
No.
And he's like slowing down, and he's like blinking at us and stuff, and he speeds around. So yeah, we get to we get to Packwood, and the driver's like, do you know what that was all about? And we're like, no. They're like, you're good? And we're like, yeah, we're great.
Yeah.
So that was that.
No doubt. That's hilarious. Dude, they're going to watch this video.
Yeah.
That's
sorry
crazy.
about that.
No.
Really apologize.
That's so funny.
Yeah.
And what brought you out here? Like, why are you on the PCT?
So I'm looking to kind of start a new chapter in life. Don't get me wrong, Maryland is absolutely great, but I know there's a lot more out there, and I've been eager to see, what the West has to share.
You thinking about moving out west?
Well, we'll see.
Okay.
The world is my oyster,
Right.
and I've been working as a government contractor in Maryland, and so I quit that job, sold my car, packed up some of my things. So I'm definitely prepared to make a change if I'm inclined to.
Right on.
Just depends on what opportunities present themselves.
Right.
I want to go to school, but I don't know exactly what for.
Fair.
So I've thought about wildfire fighting, or whatever else.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Is there anything else you want to say for the people of the Pacific Crest? I don't know.
Thanks,
whoever
Mom and
watches
Dad.
it.
Shout out, my friends.
Right
that's about it.
Right on.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.